She shared on social media, "Why do guys get so envious when you have male friends?" Right after I requested she not go on a camping trip with her former partner, I didn't say anything. I just updated my emergency contact at work to my brother. That night, she called me 31 times, but I was already explaining to her parents why I wouldn't attend Sunday dinner anymore. Hey guys, big thanks to everyone who's been backing the channel. But just a few of you have actually hit the subscribe button. So if you like what you're watching, make sure to tap that subscribe and help us keep going. This all happened last weekend, and honestly, I'm still trying to wrap my head around how quickly everything fell apart. I had been dating my girlfriend Emma for 2.5 years. I thought we had a really solid relationship. About a year ago, we started doing Sunday dinners with her family, which became our routine. Her parents like me, and her sister Kate thinks I'm great. The family dynamic was good. About 3 weeks back, Emma casually mentioned that her ex-boyfriend Ryan was planning a camping trip with their old college friend group. She said she wanted to go because she hadn't seen everyone in ages and thought it would be fun to reconnect. I wasn't too happy about the idea. Ryan and Emma had dated for about 3 years in college. They remained friends after breaking up, but he always acts strangely around me, making little comments about their shared past and trying to leave me out of group discussions. Plus, it's a weekend camping trip, tents, sleeping bags, and alcohol. It just seemed like a recipe for trouble. I told Emma I wasn't comfortable with her going on a camping trip with her ex. I wasn't being demanding or controlling. I was just sharing my feelings on the matter. Emma quickly became defensive, saying Ryan was old news and that I was being insecure for no reason. She insisted she should be able to keep friendships with anyone she wanted. I tried to explain that it had nothing to do with friendship, but rather about setting appropriate boundaries in a relationship. She didn't want to listen, claiming I was trying to control who she could spend time with, and that it wasn't fair. We traded arguments for a couple of days. I explained that camping trips are intimate settings, and the fact that her ex was organizing it made it worse. Emma kept saying I was being paranoid and jealous. Finally, I told her, if keeping this friendship is more important than respecting my feelings about boundaries, then perhaps we want different things from this relationship. Emma accused me of being dramatic and issuing ultimatums instead of trusting her. On Sunday afternoon, Emma posted on Instagram, writing a long caption about how men get so jealous when women have male friends. She spoke about how controlling behavior disguised as concern is still controlling. She argued that women should be able to maintain friendships without their boyfriends throwing fits. She didn't tag me directly, but it was obvious to everyone who she was referring to. Her friends started commenting in support, bringing up toxic masculinity and insecure boyfriends, really piling it on. I didn't comment or like the post. I just took a screenshot and began reflecting on what her post truly meant. Emma was essentially telling the world that my concerns about boundaries were just jealousy and controlling behavior. She was publicly framing me as the insecure boyfriend who couldn't handle her having male friends. That's when it hit me. Emma didn't just disagree with me. She fundamentally didn't respect my perspective or care about my feelings. On Monday morning, I called my HR department and changed my emergency contact from Emma to my brother Mike. I also updated my beneficiary information and medical power of attorney, removing Emma from everything and making Mike my primary contact. Mike was surprised when I called to give him a heads up. Is everything okay with you and Emma? Not really. I'll explain later, but I needed to change my emergency contact details. That Monday evening, Emma came over for dinner as usual. She seemed upbeat, discussing final plans for the camping trip that weekend, acting as if our conversation had never happened and her social media post wasn't a direct attack on my character. I didn't mention the Instagram post or the changes to my emergency contacts. I just listened as she talked about hiking trails and campfire cooking. On Tuesday, I felt it was necessary to have an open conversation with Emma's parents before things escalated further. Linda and Mark had always treated me well, and they deserved to know what was going on. I called Linda and asked if we could speak privately. Linda, I need to tell you that Emma and I are facing some serious relationship issues. I probably won't be able to make it to Sunday dinner this week. Linda was immediately concerned, asking what had happened and if there was anything she could do to help. I carefully explained the situation, how Emma wanted to go camping with her ex-boyfriend, and how, when I expressed my worries about boundaries, she posted on social media calling my concerns jealousy and controlling behavior. I didn't want to put her in the middle, but I felt she should know why I might not be around as much moving forward. Linda was quiet for a moment, processing what I had shared. I appreciate your honesty. That doesn't sound like the Emma we raised. She's free to make her own choices. I just can't be part of a relationship where my feelings about boundaries are publicly ridiculed. Linda thanked me for informing her and expressed hope that we could resolve things. On Wednesday, I had a similar conversation with Mark. He took it as well as I expected. You've always been respectful and reasonable. If you're concerned about something, there's probably a good reason. On Thursday evening, Emma was busy getting ready for the camping trip, packing her sleeping bag and hiking clothes, still acting as if everything was normal between us. Are you sure you're okay with me going? She asked while stuffing her backpack. You've made your choice, Emma. I've made mine. What does that mean? It means you're free to maintain whatever friendships you want. She seemed satisfied with that response and continued packing. On Friday morning, Emma left for the camping trip, gave me a kiss goodbye, and promised to text me when she arrived. By Friday afternoon around 3 p.m., Emma sent a message saying they had made it to the campsite and everything looked great, including a group photo of everyone setting up camp. That evening at 9 p.m., Emma called to check in, saying they were having a blast cooking over the fire and catching up. It sounded like she had been drinking. Miss you, babe. Wish you were here. I replied, have fun, Em. Be safe. On Saturday, I didn't hear from Emma all day. No texts, calls, or social media posts. It was complete silence. Then, Saturday evening around 11 p.m., my phone started buzzing. Emma was calling. I didn't pick up. She called again right away. Still, I didn't answer. A third call came in 2 minutes later. I still didn't respond. Emma began texting, asking why I wasn't picking up and demanding I call her back. I silenced my phone and went to bed early. On Sunday morning, I awoke to 31 missed calls from Emma and about 50 text messages. She was clearly panicking about my lack of response and becoming increasingly frantic. The messages shifted from concern to anger and then back to panic, showing she was genuinely worried about my unreachability. Instead of calling Emma back, I drove to her parents' house, knowing this might be my last Sunday dinner with them, and they deserved an explanation. Linda and Mark were surprised to see me without Emma. I explained that Emma was still camping, and I wanted to discuss our relationship. I need to let you both know that Emma and I are breaking up. This will probably be the last time I'm here for Sunday dinner. Linda looked genuinely sad, and Mark seemed disappointed but not entirely shocked. I explained that Emma chose to prioritize her relationship with her ex over my feelings about boundaries, framing my concerns as jealousy and controlling behavior instead of having an honest conversation. She publicly made me look like the jealous and controlling boyfriend rather than discussing her feelings with me. Mark nodded in understanding. That's not how you handle relationship issues. I realized we wanted fundamentally different things from a relationship. She wanted complete freedom without regard for her partner's feelings, while I wanted mutual respect and communication. We had a nice final dinner together, with Linda packing me leftovers as always. Both parents hugged me goodbye and expressed sadness over how things turned out. Around 6 p.m., Emma returned home from camping. My phone immediately started ringing. Where have you been? I've been calling you all night and day. I was about to call hospitals. I replied, I was having Sunday dinner with your parents. Why didn't you answer my calls? Because I was busy explaining why I won't be attending Sunday dinners anymore. A long silence followed. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the fact that you chose a camping trip with your ex over respecting my feelings about our relationship. It was just a camping trip with friends, and posting on social media calling me controlling was just expressing your feelings, right? Another silence. You saw that. Everyone saw it, Emma. That was the point, wasn't it? I was just frustrated. You were publicly disrespecting me and our relationship. There's a difference. Nothing happened on the trip. I'm sure it didn't. But you made your priorities clear when you chose to mock my concerns publicly instead of having an honest conversation privately. You're breaking up with me over a social media post. I'm breaking up with you because you don't respect me or this relationship enough to handle conflicts like an adult. Update. 3 days later, Emma tried to do damage control, but the reality of the situation was sinking in. Her parents were disappointed with how she handled things, and she knew it. Kate called me yesterday to see how I was doing, saying Emma had been crying to their mom about how I overreacted to a simple camping trip. Their mom told her that posting on social media instead of talking to me was immature and disrespectful. Linda apparently told Emma that airing relationship problems on social media instead of communicating with your partner shows poor judgment. Emma had been posting vague messages about how some people can't handle independent women. Her friends were being supportive, but the family response was more critical. The camping trip didn't go as Emma had hoped. Kate heard from mutual friends that Ryan spent most of the weekend making advances on Emma and behaving inappropriately. Emma felt uneasy and wanted to leave early. That's when she began calling me in a panic about being unable to reach me. She realized that being unreachable to her meant something was seriously wrong. My brother Mike called to check if I was okay since Emma had contacted him, trying to get my number. She claimed it was an emergency and asked for my contact. I told him if it was a true emergency, she should call 911. Emma clearly didn't appreciate that response. Update 2. 1 week later, Emma made another attempt to reconcile yesterday. She showed up at my apartment wanting to discuss working things out. She apologized for the Instagram post and acknowledged that going camping with Ryan was likely inappropriate. She claimed to understand why I was upset. I listened to her apology and then explained why it wasn't sufficient. Emma, you didn't just make a mistake. You publicly attacked my character instead of having a conversation with me about your feelings. I know I was wrong. I'll delete the post and apologize publicly. It's too late for that. You've shown me how you deal with relationship conflicts. When we disagree, you don't communicate with me. You attack me publicly. That's not fair. I was just frustrated. Frustrated people communicate. Disrespectful people post on social media. Emma tried to argue that everyone makes mistakes, and I should give her another chance. This wasn't a mistake, Emma. This was a choice. You chose to prioritize your ex over my feelings, then chose to mock me publicly when I expressed concerns. She left upset, but I think she finally understands that some actions have lasting consequences. 3 weeks later, Emma's life post-breakup has been an adjustment. Her family has been supportive but honest about their disappointment in how she managed our relationship. Linda told Emma she threw away a good relationship for a camping trip with someone who doesn't respect boundaries. Mark mentioned that public disrespect destroys relationships faster than private disagreements. Emma's dating life has been complicated. The guys she's interested in have heard about the social media drama through mutual friends, making it hard to build trust with someone known for publicly attacking their partner's character. Ryan attempted to pursue a relationship with Emma after the camping trip, but she wasn't interested. It turns out she only wanted his attention when it validated her stance against me. Once she was single, his interest felt inappropriate. My life has improved significantly without the drama. I'm no longer tiptoeing around someone who handles disagreements through public attacks. I've started dating someone new who actually communicates when we have different opinions. She disagrees with me about things but talks to me about it instead of posting vague rants on social media. I think you're wrong about that, but let's figure out why we see it differently. It's amazing how much easier relationships are when both people genuinely want to understand each other. Emma learned that public disrespect has private consequences. She sought validation for her choices from social media. Instead of resolving our disagreement privately, she got the validation she craved from her friends online. In the process, she lost the relationship she claimed to value. Sometimes, the best response to being publicly disrespected is to simply remove yourself from the situation entirely. Emma got exactly what she posted about wanting: complete freedom to maintain whatever friendships she wanted without her controlling boyfriend's input. She just didn't expect that freedom to come without my companionship and support.